diggity dog. Breaking, diggity dog. Breaking.
Hello, welcome to episode 44 of the T40's podcast. My name is Benson.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
And we have a super special guest today. Someone who many people will recognize by the name Silent Roommate.
He's the artist formerly known as.
Yeah. So, before we get into anything, you can send us an email at podcast@tipping40s.com or a voicemail leave a voicemail at 218-666-8407, of which we got quite a few of each.
First, I gotta say, today's podcast is gonna be pretty good.
It is.
April Fool's.
Huh. Well, maybe it'll suck then.
Okay, we got a bunch of emails actually. Ewan came in and told me that during my beer segment he liked it, but I pronounced all the German words wrong.
Yeah.
So he had a handy
You
guide
pronounced
here.
wrong as well.
Well, yeah. Well, fuck you. He said the German W's are always pronounced as V's, so Weihenstefaner. He said Vi instead of Wen. I'm bad at this. German U's are more of a short U sound than an sound, so Dunkel instead of Dunkel, like I was
Fuck that, I'm
saying.
still saying Dunkel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
German
Yeah,
QU.
I don't want to sound like Hitler, sorry.
German QU is pronounced KV, so it's not Urkel, it's Uvkel? I'm still saying this wrong.
I thought Urkel was Did I Do That?
Yeah. And then the
shut
R's
up.
are pronounced horribly. So.
That wasn't even a joke.
I know.
It
You're
makes
fired.
fucking
It's fucking-
sense. And come on, let's go to the next.
Okay, we're going
I
to
don't
the next
care
one.
about German pronunciation.
This is from The Man from Dawn. That's the name that came up. Basically, he's saying that Alex was completely wrong about his whole segment because Greg Williams did put a bunch of money in, and he also tried covering it up earlier, so he was breaking salary cap rules.
Yeah.
Yes, the extra salary cap they're probably putting was like 200,000 at most, because the most one we get is 10,000.
Yeah, but he's still putting
which
money
is
in.
nothing at all. No player is going to join a different team to possibly get 10,000 on a hit. They don't fucking care about that.
Well, I don't know anything about football.
But we weren't sure on that because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure either. But
It was mainly-
I still don't find it to be cheating.
Well,
Well, it's not cheating, it's just against
it's against league policies.
Yeah.
It's not against game rules.
It doesn't give him a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
I will say that.
We got one from Adam who's asking about Liam Stacey, who's the person in Great Britain, I believe, who got jailed for 56 days by posting racial hatred comments on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
What did he say?
Nanny state.
Yeah, that's
What did he
bad.
say?
I don't know exactly what he put on that, and I don't think it's mentioned in here, but he's saying he was asked what our opinions on it for basically posting hateful things on Twitter, getting jailed for it. I think that's kind of stupid.
I think that's totally wrong.
I haven't heard
No,
details
yeah, same
about
here.
it, so I can't really say anything other than that. If that's the case and it's cut and dry.
If he was talking shit
yeah.
about white people, he deserves it.
It's that one.
Reverse racism is a big problem in our country. Polls indicate people are worried about reverse racism.
We got one from Jacob. He says, longtime Band Dunk fan. I'll be in Miami this week for WrestleMania. Were you guys
Wow.
ever into wrestling in the late 90s and early 2000s?
No.
I was in the early 90s
Ugh.
into wrestling when I was like
Terrible.
Tell us
10 to
about your
12.
wrestling.
Okay, so I was into wrestling, never WCW, just WWF. And I knew it was fake the whole time. I just watched it because I thought it was fucking funny. And once in a while, I'll still turn it on and just see what's new in the land of the WWE now. And, you know, they lost what made it funny. Before, there was like a guy and they had a thing. That was it. It was like Repo Man, right?
Yeah.
Or Doink the Clown. He's a fucking clown. His name's Doink. Doink the Clown. And
Yeah.
now it's John Cena. I don't fucking care about
Yeah,
you.
you know why
There's
though?
no
It's because
character.
a lot of these people want to move into like acting and
Yeah.
shit. So they try to be instead of
the
a character.
Yeah.
No, well, not the actor. I'm saying they try to create a character that's based around their own persona instead of actually just creating.
Yeah, it
a
sucks.
random. Yeah, I know it's dumber.
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. He's rich. That's what I want.
I want Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, Undertaker's still around. By the way, is he like 80?
Yeah,
How is he wrestling?
He's
probably been
Undertaker.
replaced, and it's just a different guy.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, next email.
Cool wrestling. We got one from Nate. He was asking, he said he liked the beer segment I did last week. And he also said he's been noticing more articles on beer cropping up in random places, especially about a beer in Africa. He said there was one in the Economist talking about Africa.
I didn't see that article. It's interesting.
He's asking if we've ever had any African beers.
I don't think I have.
I actually haven't. No, I don't know where you get.
It shows how racist we are.
I think it more shows the availability of African beers than it does.
Which shows how racist distributors are.
That's possible.
True that. Also, the whole Islam not drinking alcohol thing, but
nah, that's only part of the continent, though.
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever.
That's it there.
Oh, that's it. All right. Well, we got some voicemails. We have a lot of voicemails actually, so let's just.
People kept them short this time.
Most of them are pretty short. So
cool.
That's good.
Hey, T40's, it sounded like Van Dunk was pretty fucking confused about your gun laws, so why don't you go ahead and teach me? Yeah, fucking do that. That sounds great. Also, please do a follow-up on shamed Japanese insider trader. I want to see if he kills himself. Don't you?
What was that last part?
he said he wants an update on the shamed insider trader Japanese guy.
So, I don't know how you would ever follow this up because someone would have to report on it.
Yeah.
So unless I go to Japan and find out, and if you want to pay for me to take a trip to Japan, you'll have to pay me also additional money that just to go because I don't really want to go to Japan. I have no interest.
Silent Roommate has been to Japan.
Yeah, you have.
He enjoyed it
What's your
thoroughly.
opinion?
What's your opinion of Japan?
He's shrugging.
You gotta say.
No, it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, my friend had mono, and I'm Corey.
Yeah.
And then my knee was all screwed up from running.
He had mono while you were there?
The ending stages of it, so he was just tired
sleepy
all the time.
Yeah.
What was the weirdest thing you saw there? Because I know people always say it's weird there.
Probably the golden shit.
Like golden shit?
Golden
What is
shit.
Yeah,
that?
we were walking down a road, and there was just like this gold thing on a building, and it just looked like a piece of shit.
It's like a piece of shit art or something?
Yeah, it's probably art.
That is great.
The gun law thing, yeah, I think Alex wanted to do a segment on that.
Yeah, that actually, I don't know a lot about our gun laws, so that would be interesting to me personally. But yeah, someone would have to report on that Japanese guy, and no one ever will.
Yeah.
Here's my guess. He was shamed by being relocated into a non-managerial position where he gets paid pension, just like every other person.
All right, we got more voicemails to go through. I don't care about that guy.
I could make a piece of art that's shit.
Hey, Tipping 40s. I work at a store, and we have a store vendor who works for Kraft Foods. So I had to ask him about the Mondelez name change and see if it was actually going to happen there. And he said, yeah, they're changing our name to Mondelez. They haven't told us why, and I don't even know what Mondelez means. So I had to tell the vendor what his future name actually means. So, yeah. They all agree it's dumb and stupid. So, yeah, keep up the good work, Big Diggity Dog, later.
Cool.
You see, you may think it's stupid, but the stockholders don't.
Actually,
yes.
Some of them probably do.
What are they thinking? What if they paid someone tons of money to think of that name? Like the Pepsi logo?
Oh, no, they did. There was a marketing campaign. I mean, someone got paid.
$2 billion new Pepsi logo? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a terrible name. I don't understand. But whatever. That's an interesting story, though.
Yeah.
They were just like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
See, we informed that person, and then it affected their
our
business
influence is
relationships.
spreading.
Yeah.
We're spreading the word. Okay.
Spreading like syphilis.
Hey, Tipping 40s. I was just wondering if you guys had any flying stories, or maybe you guys could just talk about flying in general.
Flying?
Also, I've only flown once in my life, and that was on Delta, and I was just curious as why you guys think Delta is so bad. Love your stuff. Love the podcast. Keep doing what you do. See you, dude.
Thank you. Flying stories. I actually have a flying story. It's not too bad. When I was going back home to upstate New York for a short time, this was a while back, probably 3-4 years ago, and I went back home, and on my way back to Phoenix, there was this very, very fat man in the seat next
Kevin
to me.
Smith?
And there's you know how every time you fly, if you're a what's the word?
Fatty?
Someone who shows up on time.
Oh, the ticket holder?
Punctual?
Punctual is the word I'm thinking for. Okay, so if you're a punctual person, you'll know that when you get to your seat, all you do is watch people come and you go, I hope that's not the guy in the seat next to me. I hope that's not the fucking guy. And it happens every time. You're just waiting because you know
I usually look at the people with carry-on and just hate them fucking with passion.
They're terrible.
As they try to shove their stupid bag in the overhead.
It's always sideways. You're supposed to put it straight.
They never can do it.
All right. Well, let me finish my story here. So, that happened, and this very, very fat big black guy came, and I don't care he's black, obviously, but I do care he's fat because he's in the seat next to me, and he comes and he's like, "This is me," and I'm like, and he says maybe the thing that I was so fucking mad when he said this. He goes, "Man, I'm glad you're skinny." And I was like, well, I'm not glad you're fat, sir. And so he sits down next to me and more like plops in just the seat. Yeah. It was too much. His ass was too much for the seat. It could not contain it. And so I was being pushed.
Were you in the middle or?
I was in the middle seat. And he was, And so he was just pushing out of me the whole flight basically, and he started like bogarting my armrest. Like he was too fat. He couldn't fit without going over the armrest basically. And I wanted to sleep. I just wanted to sleep on my flight. So I just gave up and I laid right on him. I laid right on his shoulder and I slept for 4 hours on this flight, laying on this guy.
It's like a big pillow.
And when I woke up, I looked at him and he just nodded at me. Like he was like,
You're welcome.
I think he almost knew. It's like, it sucks to have to sit next to me, so I'm just gonna let you sleep on me because I don't want to be an asshole.
Do you think he made like pleasant murmuring noises?
He's like
whispers in your ear,
nuzzle,
blowing in your ear.
He was singing me lullabies.
Yeah.
No. So that's my flying story.
I flew a lot.
Do you want to tell your phone story?
No, I don't. I don't want to tell the phone story. Now they're gonna be like, "What's the phone story?" But anyways, no, I flew a lot, but nothing ever really interesting happened. The worst thing that ever happened on a flight is I flew to Germany from San Francisco on a red eye, and I was in the last row in the middle seat in the middle section of 5 seats. I was the third one in.
Yeah,
and it was a red eye, and I can't sleep on planes, and I go to the bathroom all the time. And so I couldn't go to the bathroom, and I was stuck. And you can't recline the seats in the back row. And by the end of that flight, I just wanted to punch something. I never had more irrational rage. And then I remember on the international flights, they have this map that shows where the plane is.
Yeah.
I just watched it, and it was bad. I should not have watched it because it just makes you go insane.
Yeah, watch pot never boils.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's like 8 hours left, 7:59 left, and you're like, oh.
You're staring at it like intense rage.
Yeah. So, why do we think Delta sucks so much?
Oh, that's good.
Because they bought Northwest and laid off everyone.
There's more reasons than that.
Oh yeah,
that's
also they have shitty service. And they charge you for everything.
Yeah, I actually think that Delta totally sucks. But like telecoms, they're better than U.S. Airways.
You know what Delta? You know what Delta is? Delta is when you're in a mall food court and there's like a Johnny Rockets. And there's like a Chick-fil-A. And no, Delta is the Sbarros.
Oh, you think so?
They're the cheap, really bad airline that you go, I don't want to spend much on this ticket. I gotta fucking fly cheap. And it's either them or US Air. And they're both terrible.
And Frontier's the Chinese food court, like all-you-can-eat buffet for $3.
But no one goes there because they all look weird.
That's Frontier.
Plus they've all gotten food poisoning.
I've only been on a plane twice. First time I ever went was when I was 23. I've only been on Southwest, so it wasn't that bad.
Southwest isn't that bad.
But one time I went with my mom and my sister and my 2 nieces, and they were 3 and 6 years old. Luckily, we got the very back seat close to the bathroom, and I sat next to a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. I had to take care of them for 3 hours on a flight. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah,
just kidding.
That would be rough. Okay, well let's keep moving it along here.
I drink alcohol.
Just want to say your guys' podcast is awesome. I've listened to all the episodes, and I love it. Want to thank Ryan for the brew selections last week.
I picked up a Unibrew sampler pack at Trader Joe's today. Had La Fin du Monde, Tres Pistolets, and another one or two that you recommended. And just gotta say, awesome. Keep up the great work. Keep up the beer selections. Can't wait to hear the next week's episode. Later.
Thanks. Cool. Actually, one of the things, I don't know if people saw it, but I posted the entire list in the show notes.
Yeah, it's really good.
So if you didn't catch a lot of them, just go back and look, and they're there.
It's not just pretty good; it's really good.
It's pretty good.
P.S. Alex, you're not affected by advertisements. Gonna call a big fat bullshit on that one. Bye.
He just had to let you know.
I got a point for him. You bought a Dorito taco, didn't you?
No.
Oh, wait, you did. Okay, well, advertising works on you.
I've never claimed that advertisements don't work on me.
Movie advertisements work on me very well. That's the only thing that works, though. Trailers, I want to see movies all.
I'm more of a person where, well, I mean, obviously, Dorito taco isn't a dollar investment, so if it sucks, then I just throw it in the garbage anyway. But I'm one of those people where if I see something like that, I go, I really want to see what that is like. I just have to find out.
I'm curious.
But I'm not a person who will, I'll never turn into a regular buyer of Dorito tacos.
I think advertisements work opposite effect on me. Like, if it's a bad advertisement, I fucking hate that company now.
Yeah, but you probably weren't going to buy their shit anyway.
Well, still, I just will never do it now.
I am not kidding. I almost did leave Geico for the pig ads. Yeah. I really thought about
Back when Verizon had that guy, can you hear me now? Good. I hated that guy so much I would never fucking use Verizon. Yeah. So I couldn't handle that guy.
But my parents bought it, so whatever. Okay, and here's the last one. Yeah, last voicemail of this week.
Hello, Tipping 40s. This is Matt, MJG, whatever. Do any of you guys still subscribe to any print magazines? I'm guessing probably not. So, assuming that's the case, what were the last magazines that you subscribed to?
Nintendo Power.
Sort of along the same lines, is there anything about magazines that you miss or that you feel you don't get or don't get as well from however you get your information from nowadays, the internet, I would assume? Or not even just magazines, but whatever printed media, books, newspapers, whatever. That's all. Good luck on your first streaming podcast, and have a good day. Bye.
That's a great question.
It is.
The answer for me is Game Pro.
Game Pro? I think mine less Computer Gaming World.
Yeah, mine is Nintendo Power, yeah, like when I was 10.
Yeah.
My roommate back in New York had a subscription to Maxim. I used to read it because it would show up, and
Maxim's a very good toilet magazine. Like, I'm taking a shit, I need something to read for 2 minutes.
Yeah, well,
let's read one of these garbage.
It's not a joke when people say magazines where half the pages are actually ads too, because they are. It's ridiculous.
The last magazine I literally I literally had a subscription to in my name. Might have been Field and Stream, because my dad wanted to get a rebate bonus, and he had to fill it out under my name instead of his own. And so I would show up every week, Field and Stream for me, and I never read one issue of Field and Stream, because that's maybe the most boring magazine ever read.
What about you, Silent Roommate?
Mark, what about you?
I still read magazines.
What do you read?
Well,
no, they're fucking worthless.
The last one I actually was subscribed to, I don't know how, was EGM.
Oh, yeah. I think I got one of those on accident from GameSpot or something.
Were you not paying for it? You were just getting it for free?
Yeah, it was free. I don't know how I got it.
I like the comment he said about how there's the internet now. I got a story for that, a short story. I bought some game from GameStop or EB a while back.
It was EB and it was Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
I was there with you.
And I bought the game, and the guy's like, you want to buy the guide with that? I'm like, no, I have the internet. And he was like the saddest face ever. Yeah. Pissed at me.
I will say, there was something really awesome when you were a kid and you got like a Game Pro or EGM and you saw all these future games.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, whoa, I didn't know this was coming out. And it was really awesome. Now you're just like, it's almost like you don't value information.
I got published
in
a gaming magazine.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wrote in. I got published.
He talked about that.
Yeah. No, he didn't. I don't think he did. He told me once.
Yeah. They promised me I was going to get, what was it? Dungeon Siege 2, and they never sent it to me.
What was your publish?
Oh, jeez, I don't remember.
You should give like a game hint to something.
Yeah,
it was like Star Fox or something.
It was a game tip about Medal of Honor Allied Assault for PC. Because I used to play that game a lot.
You said you pick up the enemy's guns or something.
Yeah,
like that.
pick up the opposite team's sniper rifle and confuse them with it.
Well, that's it for voicemails. But there is one among us who actually does or has in the recent past regularly read a print magazine, and I could say that person is Ryan, and it was 2600.
Oh yeah.
And he's.
That's a zine. That's not a print magazine. There's a difference.
It is. It's printed and sold in stores.
Yeah.
I will say that magazine did give me some free soda from Fry's Electronics many times.
Yeah.
There's
my mom has subscribed to People magazine for over 5 years now. So
does she tell you about the story?
Hey, what about the voicemail?
I always pick it up when I'm there, and I get so angry.
My parents
that is the anger inducing.
What about the voicemail from Mike's wife?
We're not going to play that because it's already 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move along. We'll just talk about the beer of the week real quick.
I also have the other thing, but yeah.
This, what?
Keep going.
All right. This is the Silent Roommate beer of the week pick. Go for it, buddy. Yingling Traditional Lager.
So I never had Yingling. What is
so
that?
You're from PA, right? So
Pennsylvania, for people that don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not familiar, but that's a big pick in Pennsylvania, right? The Yingling.
Well, it's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I didn't know
it's
that.
It's supposed to be our country's oldest brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A continuous brewery.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
What year is it from?
Like 1780 or something.
Yeah, they've been around a long
for
time.
America. That's crazy old.
Yeah,
they've been around a long time.
And it's a good cheap beer. It's fucking cheap.
It's legitimately decent. It's not like a lot of other American lagers. It has a little bit more substance to it. Has a little bit of a malty taste.
Nutty.
It's kind of nutty.
I never had it.
It's a decent beer, though. It's technically an American amber or red lager, apparently, but it tastes like a lager. I mean, you can tell when something's a lager.
I gotta say, they spelled their name really weird.
Well, it's the guy's last name.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Strange.
I'm sure if you called Purcell's Brewery, they'd be like, that name's odd.
It's Purcell.
Nearstead.
Yeah. Let's just say our last names. Anyway.
They already know our last names. We've put them on our projects.
So we have a quick update to worst company in America. We went through both the Epic 8 for Alex and the Final Four is coming down. So real quick to recap, Bank of America went up against Ticketmaster. Bank of America won, obviously. PayPal against Walmart. Walmart won that one. I thought PayPal had a...
I figured Walmart would.
People hate Walmart.
Yeah. AT&T went up against Facebook, and AT&T won. Fuck you, AT&T. Facebook should be the winner.
Fuck yeah, I picked that one.
Though, AT&T did try to create a huge monopoly by buying T-Mobile, so that was pretty bad.
Which is... They've been trying to create... They've already successfully basically creted a monopoly.
Yeah. It would have created GSM monopoly.
I gotta say, AT&T made my work week this week fucking terrible.
They did? Because they exist.
No, because there's this guy from NetApp, vendor guy in our data center, who had AT&T and couldn't get any signal, but everyone else gets signal, so I had to escort him back and forth to our office, and then to
because
it's a mile long walk because we can't give him a badge, so I have to escort him every time. It's like a mile long walk every time he has to talk to his NetApp support because he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
You should get Segways.
He's like, "Can I use your phone?" I'm like, "No, fuck you. You can't use my phone."
And then the last bracket was Comcast versus EA. EA won that.
Yeah, that was
an upset.
Shocking. Yeah. But I picked EA out of that
Sony
bracket.
should have beat EA.
Yeah.
Actually, if Facebook had won, I would have gotten 3 out of the 4.
I picked AT&T over Facebook, so...
I'm sad Facebook should be in there. But anyway, next week we have Walmart, Bank of America, and then AT&T and EA. So, we'll see what happens.
Okay. So, I guess it's Mike's turn to talk about the individual mandate.
Yeah. And not a date with men. This is a individual.
Because you can have a mandate with one guy, so...
Yeah. So, this week the Supreme Court began deliberating on the court case Florida v. United States Department of Health and Human Services. This is the Obamacare case.
Yeah.
The argument is that the state of Florida and a number of other states are arguing that you cannot penalize an individual or an employer that does not choose to participate in having health insurance. The portion of the Affordable Care Act that this is the individual mandate, right? So many observers were curious how the conservative Supreme Court would question the individual mandate. And shockingly, and I know it's going to blow your mind, they didn't take too kindly to it.
Yeah.
So here was Scalia making his money argument.
Why do you define the market that broadly? Healthcare. It may well be that everybody needs healthcare sooner or later, but not everybody needs a heart transplant. Not everybody needs a liver transplant. Why?
That's correct,
clear,
but you never know whether you're
could you define the market? Everybody has to buy food sooner or later, so you define the market as food. Therefore, everybody's in the market. Therefore, you can make people buy broccoli.
You're gonna make me buy broccoli. If it was chalupas, I'd be okay with that because I really like chalupas. But broccoli, yuck, it's rabbit
against
food.
His own point. I mean, he was saying that everybody will need healthcare, but not everyone needs, these expensive procedures. But at the same time, everyone needs food. Not everyone needs like filet mignon, but they still need food.
Yeah.
So what is it? Didn't he just?
He's saying that you can't force someone to buy something.
Yeah.
So
even though they're going to use it.
Yeah. So this is a highly educated man making his ironclad argument. Well, so I'm going to make a counter argument, and this one's going to involve, research. So
no.
So a lot of conservative pundits say the reason they don't like Obamacare is that they are forced to participate in the system. Mm-hmm. The real reason is they don't like supporting poor people's insurance. But let's be fair, let's attack the talking point, not the underlying reasoning. Yeah. So first, you are not forced into health care with Obamacare. That is not true. It's not the case.
No, you're right, but there is a penalty for not being part of it. And he addressed that, though.
Yes. They're penalizing you financially for not participating. So saying you are a lot of the argument, though, that's miseducated
is that you're forced.
You're forced. You're not forced. You're given an unfavorable situation but never mind that. They feel like they're being strong-armed. I'm being penalized for not participating. I should have a choice, right? Mm-hmm. But, what about Social Security and Medicare? These are both programs that most Americans pay into every day. Actually, 5.65% of their earned income. But what if I feel, that these programs aren't going to be around when I can fucking actually use them? I can't opt out of these programs, right? Just file a form and I'm off the program without penalty. I can get out of it.
Well, you can just not pay Social Security tax, but then the IRS will come for you.
Yeah, so actually you can't now. Yeah, so unless you are a small handful of unions that were made exempt prior to 1984, a federally exempt designated railroad employee, or a minister, for whatever reason ministers don't get to pay taxes, you have no ability to opt out of these programs. Mm-hmm. None. You are not just penalized, but you are forced into a social program that uses your contributions to subsidize others' care. Does that sound? It's the same thing, right? So, in fact, even congressmen are on the hook for Medicare and Social Security. In the court case of Hall versus Sebelius, a number of congressmen wanted to not participate in Medicare because they were eligible for better health care provided by retired congressman acts and shit like that. Congressmen, funny enough, are part of that handful of groups and unions that are exempt prior to 1984. However, the court ruled that if they were to give up their Medicare, they would also have to get rid of their Social Security. So even people of power that create legislation can't opt out of shit. They are forced into either both programs. They can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
So even they can't pick. But I know the other argument to this. These programs are paid by taxes. I'm not told to go out and purchase Medicare and face penalty. You're making me consume a good, buying a private good, right? Mm-hmm. And if I'm not, I'll be penalized. Well, while at its core, I would consider being forced into a program worse. Let's argue it. Okay, so it's true. There isn't a precedent for this type of penalty at the federal level. None. There's never been a penalty, a tax penalty, for something you choose to do. There's not. Besides not paying taxes, but obviously that doesn't count. But there are many precedents of tax incentives given. There's the tax code's filled with them. Mm-hmm. So, did you know that you could get a tax credit for installing solar panels at your home?
Yeah.
Okay. Or how about you can get that. Or if you have a mortgage, you get mortgage interest credit or a student loan interest credit. Now, this is a strange argument, but Benson, you're not a homeowner, right?
Right.
You have elected not to purchase a home, but I did. So I get this credit now. You, on the other hand, pay rent. And guess what? You don't get shit. Yeah. You don't get fucking anything. So you are being penalized for not purchasing a home. You don't get that credit, but I do.
Well, that's not a penalty.
It's not. But you are not getting an incentive that I get.
Right. Well, so that's exactly it. It's
your
an
tax situation,
not a penalty.
So it's basically the same thing.
No,
it's just
not.
Yeah, it is. I completely disagree.
No, you're wrong. An incentive is supposed to make you want to do something.
Like get health care?
Right. A penalty is supposed to make you not
do something.
It's supposed to make you not do something.
I think this is like very semantic.
I think it's bullshit. So
yeah.
Well, I still think that there are aspects of it that are bullshit, but I don't think I'm just saying in terms of what you're talking about. I don't think these are even close to the same thing.
Going back on what you said earlier about the what am I saying here? About the comparison to the Medicare and the Social Security. I think the difference between the healthcare law and those two are the Medicaid and Medicare and
Social Security.
Yeah, Social Security. They're federally mandated programs that are paid through taxes, as opposed to the healthcare law, which is different because these are private things you need to buy that aren't run by the government. So it's a bit different in that regard. Also, the other fact is that the penalty is a penalty, not a tax, and that's the legalese is a bit different for that because, like, if they were implying a tax on the people, the government can do that.
But I personally think that's just a total distraction. Like, I think that's bullshit because if I don't have a mortgage, I have a worse tax situation than someone that has a tax that has a mortgage, right? Yeah. I have a worse situation. If I choose to not have health insurance, I pay a penalty. I have a worse tax situation than someone that chooses to have health insurance.
Right.
The effect of it is, and like I said, I know it's a strange argument, but the effect, the consequence of it is exactly the same. I'm getting less than the person who chooses to get involved in getting a solar panel or whatever fucking thing they're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I don't fully understand the argument you're making, though. Like, what you're trying to say.
If this is illegal, if this is unconstitutional, the individual mandate,
right?
Aren't these social programs unconstitutional? Aren't my ability not to choose to be a part of a social program or be a part of a tax incentive?
Well, if what you're saying is that the tax code is complete bullshit, then yes. I agree with you on that.
But they don't attack that. And it's been challenged many times, and it constantly gets protected. So, I mean, taxes rarely get thrown out.
Well, the thing is that I don't think that these are the same situation, really, but I do agree it's bullshit either way. I mean, you're getting screwed. I agree with that, but I just think that these are different. Like, it's not really the correct analogy for it, I guess, in my opinion.
Well, unfortunately, there's nothing like Obamacare because it's a stupid law.
Yeah. Well.
It's fucking dumb. And so, anyways, back on my thing, just to finish up, this is what I hate the most, is that conservatives not only are insincere in their criticism of the individual mandate, but they are actually trying to pass reforms in other spaces that do the same thing. That do this, you have to consume private goods, right? Or private services. So Fiscal Hawk, Paul Ryan from Wisconsin, is proposing a Medicare voucher program as reform to the, deficit fueling fucking Medicare program. Well, what does this involve? This program would give senior vouchers to purchase health care on the private market. So how is that any different? If you're forcing people to get involved into the private market using a voucher program.
If you want, I mean, honestly, the whole problem with Obamacare in general is the same problem that people have been talking about for a long time, which is that it's still going through insurance companies.
Yes.
That's the problem.
There's no single payer.
If there was a single payer, none of these problems would be nearly as big as they are.
And Obama's lawyers, because he has lawyers, they should have looked at this law and said, this is not going to get through the courts because it's a conservative Supreme Court. And you're trying to set a precedent. They're never going to allow it, And so and this was the end of my thing, basically, but I hate the individual mandate. I think it's a terrible idea. It's a corporatist, worst of both worlds reform. And if they did Medicare for all, they wouldn't run into any of these precedent issues that they're running into right now.
Well, the problem is that in order for the healthcare system to be fixed, not to keep growing and its deficit and whatnot, everybody needs to participate in it. Everyone needs
you have to increase the pool.
Yeah. And so they had to figure out a way in order to get people to do this, and they did this through the penalization of not participating. But the problem is it's still going, like you said, it's still going through these private insurance companies. And, and
it still doesn't pool the group. It still doesn't actually pool the users into one plan. Because if you're an employer with 60,000 employees, your plan per employee is far less expensive than someone with 20 employees. It's just how,
Well, that's why everyone should be participating in it. But since the government isn't running it, it's still like these different insurance companies that can still charge whatever they want. Sure, they have a bigger pool, and so they should drop the prices. But
they split the pool between 5 healthcare major medical guys.
Well, the real problem is that it's being placed on you by the government and not by the people who are paying. Because what they're doing is they go, because these insurance companies, they're never going to incentivize anything.
No,
they will never do that. And so, when you have the company pool at a certain amount, you need to have the ability to back it up with money. So they need to find a way to get people to participate in the program. So instead of trying to get insurance companies to incentivize it because they're not going to, they just went, well, fuck it, we'll penalize people if they don't want to be part of it. Which is, I agree, it's bullshit, but at the same time, I don't know what they can do to get people
how could you incentivize it? Because people want to save their own money. They're like, I don't need to pay into this.
And that's what I'm saying, because insurance companies will never do that. Yeah. They would never do it. So that's why single payer is really the only way to go. But it doesn't matter, because it's not going to happen.
That didn't happen. And so, I just feel that the argument that this is unconstitutional, as much as I don't like the individual mandate, is an inaccurate decision. I think there are no precedents, unfortunately, for this rule. There's none. So you can't make an assumption either way. But all I could do is take surrounding evidence, tertiary evidence, really. And I think with that, you cannot remove this part from the statute. It's just not.
Well,
it's a poor,
the individual mandate
decision.
Goes down, then the entire law is basically fucked.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. It's pointless then. Which, by the way, it will go down.
Yeah, well, there's some things like, for example, the pre-existing conditions. What's the other one?
There's some max terms and stuff like that.
Also, the kids being insured up to 26 now or whatever. Those are good things, but
I don't know if that would stay. I think actually, yeah.
Those will stay, but the whole idea was to drive down the costs based on getting everyone in the system.
Now, whatever's in Section 1501 of that bill will be gone. So that, and likely the rest of it will stay. But I think personally, if they allow this, I feel they set the precedent to allow us to opt out of Social Security, opt out of Medicare. Why can't I don't want to pay into Social Security. I'm not going to get it. I'd be fine paying into it if I knew I was going to get it, but I know I'm not. So I just want my money back. Give me my 6%.
You should start a civil action on it.
Actually, I'm actually saying that. I think if this gets struck down, we should say that this sets a legal precedent for us to opt out of Social Security and Medicare. I really think that should happen, because if they're going to make this, really antagonistic, anti-freeloader culture, then fuck, man, I don't want to pay in either. Why do I want to subsidize the old people? Fuck them. They can go die too. I'm going to be selfish too now. Fuck you.
I hate old people.
So, that's really it. I just feel that, saying that a penalty is different from a lot of incentives that we give in our culture, or the fact that we're forced into Medicare or Social Security is kind of a bullshit argument, even though, legally maybe
we could argue that all day. But that's... Anyway, I don't know if you have any more to add.
No.
Okay. That was emotionally... He's mad about...
Yeah. I am, because they could have just raised the Medicare tax to 3.5% and given Medicare to everybody, and people would have paid way less than they do to health insurance companies
can't raise
now.
taxes election year. But
Yeah.
You don't. See, that's. We can go back again to what I was talking about multiple times, which is that the insurance companies own this program. It's not a government program. So
it's guaranteed business.
Anyway, let's talk to the
special guest.
The guest we have today. Let's talk to Silent Roommate.
Because I don't have a topic.
You don't have a topic? That's okay. We'll just ask you things. But
have you seen anything lately?
Movies.
Any movies? You watch a lot of movies, don't you? Like way more than I do. I don't watch a lot.
No, not
anymore.
Not just even new movies. Have you seen like bad ones lately?
Not since the theater closed in Mesa.
Okay.
What theater closed?
There was the Midnight Movie Mamacita program.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be in Chandler and then moved to Madcap in Tempe and then got their own place.
This was a grindhouse.
You should tell them about the time we went there with you and Rosebrook.
For which movie?
Fake Predator movie.
Oh.
Fuck you. You wasted my money, asshole.
Wasn't that bad.
Oh.
It had the Space Mutiny guy, Reb Brown.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty
Last
ridiculous.
hard cheese?
Yeah, exactly.
But
rolling those fizzle beefs.
But tell them what we were actually watching. Because we were actually watching the movie.
Oh, yeah, there was like some comedy group there. And they were trying to do an MST3K, like voiceover, telling jokes. They were all bad. Every single one.
So yeah, like,
no. There was one guy that was pretty funny.
Yeah, one guy was kind of funny, but they like... It was like a tiny little theater where there was like, I don't know, seats for maybe like 30 people. And then there were like 5 of them sitting in front. And then they muted the sound.
Microphone.
They muted
it?
The sound.
What?
Wow.
You can't do that.
And then they just talked.
So they just
over the whole
like
movie.
spoke the lines for people and stuff?
He showed me the trailer for the movie online, Mark did, and I was like, yes, I want to see this, let's watch it. And then I got up there, showed up there, I'm like, Mark, what the fuck?
Yeah, we wanted to leave so badly.
So what were they doing? Like, what were some of their bad jokes?
Dude, well, they were like singing when they were walking through the jungle. They were doing like the Spaceballs sound of the little Jawas walking through the jungle and stuff.
Oh, there was this one girl doing
all the robots.
That's robot voice.
That's nerve.
This one girl. The bad guy was a robot instead of the Predator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some girl was doing the voice, and it'd just be this monotone voice of I'm a robot, blah, blah, blah.
But she never told a single joke, and there's so much robot in the movie, it's like, oh my god. But anytime, like, whenever we go to those things, we yell out stuff, because...
Yeah,
we were
that's what the grindhouse was.
But when I did that, whenever I did that, people gave me, like, turn around and give me really fucking dirty looks. Like, they love these people. Like, they know, everyone there knew each other except us. It's like a group of, like...
So were people laughing at their jokes?
Yes.
Oh, so they were killing.
They were killing.
They were polite laughs.
Polite.
Oh, okay.
It was like a bunch of friends. They knew them, so they were laughing because they're friends.
I wonder if everybody who watches us just laugh politely.
Oh, probably lots of people do. It's called lunch break.
What is your favorite movie, Silent Roommate?
Has to be Total Recall.
Not Back to the Future?
I thought Back to the Future was your favorite.
Back to the Future 2 is amazing. Still have my Back to the Future t-shirt from 10th grade.
What would you think if they decided to make a sequel to Back to the Future, and what would you think they would do?
What would they call it? Back to the Future 3?
No, 4.
That was a good joke.
I do love the 2 Back to the Future movies. They are good.
You know, like Buford Tannen?
Clint Eastwood.
I don't know, I think if they made a 4th one, what the fuck would they do?
Put it in space. Just put it in
space. There you go.
It's gonna get remade, dude. It's
they're gonna
fucking going to happen at some point.
Yeah, they're gonna remade it. Who do you think should play Marty? If they
Well, they actually did a
Zac
video
Efron.
game. They did one of those episodic video games for
Yeah,
console.
they did.
Oh, they did.
They did really bad though.
Yeah.
Didn't do that great.
I played the demo. It wasn't amazing.
You do know that Nike put in a patent for McFlys, right?
I still haven't seen those.
How
shoes.
don't they?
Awesome.
How can that even? They have prior art. Those were working shoes in the movie.
Well, yeah, they're doing it so you don't have to lace them up. There's like I saw the patent. There's a charger you put your phone in, so they auto lace themselves.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Well,
awesome.
oh yeah, they released the first build of it.
Yeah.
But they can't have that thing, so they still put out the mix.
No, they're holding off till 2015 because that's when number 2 is. When the Cubs win the pennant
Speaking
against
of
the
2015,
Miami
when's my hoverboard
Gators.
coming out?
Yeah.
My hoverboard.
What was I going to say? I was going to ask you something else.
What do you think of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that
I've seen nothing
Michael Bay is doing? Is it Michael Bay?
He's a producer. He's not a director.
They're going to be robots in it?
No, well,
they're no longer.
It's live action.
Now they're from space.
Weren't there robot turtles?
Yes,
there were.
There was a robot turtle. His name was,
Mecha. Was it Mecha something?
I have the toy of it in my closet. You gave it to me.
Oh yeah,
from Japan.
Yeah, they are going to be coming from space now.
Yeah, and
that.
What's his face said that they're aliens, but someone else has told me that he just doesn't know anything about it, so he's just talking out of his ass.
That would be funny. Actually.
He's just giving money, so he gets more money.
Yeah, well, he just doesn't know anything about turtles. I don't know. You guys see that?
How do you not know what a turtle? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What is it? It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It's all it's adjectives
now the movie's called Ninja Turtles. They changed the name.
Oh, so now it's not mutated or teenage.
Right, they don't have to be.
But they still wear fedoras.
Adult, adolescent.
They still wear fedoras.
Wait, do you think they're going to
tweens?
Middle-aged alien Ninja Turtles.
Is it still going to be live action?
Yeah, it's going to be live action.
Do you think they're going to bring in the original actor guy who did the voice?
No.
No way.
Corey
Feldman?
Brandon Fraser or something.
No, what is it? The party we went to last night. You know the big guy, Kevin's friend, Stefan?
Sure.
Yeah.
He actually met the guy who was in Surf Ninjas and did a...
Oh, that guy. Oh.
It's pretty
He says he was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But,
Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, come on.
Leslie,
I had a Game Gear back then, too, and that was one of the big things for that movie.
Surf Ninjas?
The one kid was playing the Game Gear.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting people.
So advertising does work on you.
Yeah. I don't know what your advertising like.
So, we're running up on time pretty close, but I want to ask like maybe one or two more questions to Silent Roommate. Now, we've discussed a little bit in the past how you like Linux and you don't like Windows, and I think people would like to hear you just talk about that for a minute. Like what you like
what
and
drove
don't
you
like
to switch?
about.
Yeah, why did you
drove me to switch? I got a second computer.
Well, like, first of all, tell them that you really love video games too, which a lot of us do.
I like video games.
And you like computer games. And you like computer games a lot, so I would think that would be a big selling point of why to switch to Linux. And why not to, actually.
Why not? But yeah.
Well, like, one thing is, video games, like, first-person shooters haven't been evolving for, like, the past 10 years.
You're right about that.
They're all the same.
Yeah. So, like, there are a bunch of free ones, like Warsaw and Urban Terror, and they keep releasing more and more free ones, and what is it? Quake 3 engine's open source, so people are just making whatever they feel like. So, those hold me over.
But doesn't it bother you sometimes when a new game comes out and you can't play it?
Like Call of Duty 16?
No, like Diablo 3.
No, not necessarily. Yeah, like things like that. Not necessarily FPS.
Like Diablo 3, because I know you love Diablo.
I had 3 friends from back home message me about Diablo 3, so...
Yeah.
Might break me.
But
there's an emulator that lets you try to run.
Oh, I don't know if that would work.
It doesn't usually work. Like, right now I'm playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because I... never beat it on PS2. And about every other mission, it'll kind of black screen.
Yeah.
And I have
that sounds so unpleasant. I would never want to go through that.
Because sometimes I'm lucky and it'll let me do 2 missions without doing it. If I want to take a risk.
Wow. Today. You got 2 missions done today. Thank you, Lenny.
But the thing that makes me mad is, what is it? Rockstar. They released it for Mac. All 3 on Steam or something like that.
Yeah.
How hard is it to port it to Linux if it's already on Mac?
Well, apparently really hard, because what is it? There's some, like, email from, like, Gabe Newell.
Oh, you hate Gabe, right?
Well, he is an ex-Microsoft employee. But
he really hates
I didn't know he was
No, it seems like they were trying to port it, but they say, I don't know, graphics card stuff sucks.
Yeah,
the drivers aren't great on Linux
Well, if
for
you look
video.
Like, do you ever go to NVIDIA's site to download their drivers?
Yes.
No.
Well,
no, he wouldn't.
I would.
Well, if you go there and you look at what they're releasing, you'll see, like, got 20% extra boost on Skyrim or something like that.
Yeah, they only do it for the most recent games.
Yeah, they're doing something in the background to tweak it so it runs better for those. But they never do that for Linux because they don't give a shit about it.
Well, because the market share is nothing.
Yeah.
And then because the only way they see Linux is for like simulation or something.
Oh, like flight or
for hacking the Gibson.
Well, it's also got a lot of mathematical computational power.
Oh, that's the recent thing they did. NVIDIA joined the Linux Foundation just so they can have more people build their server farms with their GPUs.
Yeah, working in a data center with like thousands and thousands of servers. Half of them are Linux, which is not enough. It should be way more than half.
So I guess the real question I have is like, what facets of using Linux do you like so much better than Windows? Because I know you really don't like using Windows.
And I have another question after that as well. Who do you hate more, Windows or Mac? So.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Well, what facets of Linux do you like that you? Because I know you hate using Windows.
I look at it like in the future. I look at everything in the future, like Back to the Future too.
Okay.
They're in the past a lot in that movie too. So.
That's true.
Like I have a G1. It's like a brick now. The battery dies.
You still have that phone?
Yeah, the G1.
Holy shit.
I won't get rid of it because after I got it, I said I want the next phone I want to get has to do these specific things. And now they're slowly coming out with one, which is a phone that I can plug into anything, and it's kind of like my universal computer.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, like, my Linux of choice, Ubuntu, the company who makes that, they have a computer where it's like, what is it, the Atrix?
Yeah.
It's like Atrix 2. And, well, they already made an Atrix 2. Something better than the Atrix. Atrix was garbage, but you can plug it into your TV. It reads I think it's called like an EDID or something like that. It says I'm this
Nintendo e-cards.
Yeah, well, it just says whatever the display is, but it'll detect that and then it'll change it over to like a video playing.
So it's
mode.
plug and play for movies and shit.
Yeah. And then like if you plug it into like your monitor, it turns into a desktop.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm sure you plug it into your car and then.
That would be pretty awesome.
Base tools automatically.
Base tools, yeah.
And then,
that's like one step down from having like an implant chip that can interact with everything around you. Like
320
phone
gigs.
that plug into anything.
That'll happen.
I have to ask real quick.
I'll play ads.
What's the battery
brain.
life like on your phone?
if I use it,
Yeah.
No,
probably
if you don't ever use it.
If I don't use it, I can get about 9 hours.
Fuck.
That's it.
That's not turning on the screen. If I turn on the
Get a new phone.
How long does it last on a call?
if I do any call, I'll get maybe an hour in that day.
Holy fuck.
Why are you still using that?
What?
He wants a super phone, man.
Yeah.
Also, who's worse? Who do you hate more, Mac or Windows or Apple or Microsoft, whichever way you want to put it?
Well, Apple's full of assholes, and so is. Wait, didn't Microsoft own a chunk of Apple? Or
That was a long time ago.
They own a
long
chunk
time.
of it still, but they've grown so much that their chunk's a lot smaller now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that. It was
They
some
used to
part
own
of a deal.
25% of them or something like
Yeah, haven't you seen
that.
the movie Knights of Silicon Valley?
It's a pretty good movie, actually.
That's not that bad.
All right. Well, anyway,
I thought it was Pirates too.
not to cut you
Whatever,
short,
Pirates.
but we're already running up on
that's a
time,
game
so we
company.
got to get to the top 5. But let's all thank Silent Roommate for coming out and
thank
talking
you.
to us.
You could
Thanks, Silent Roommate.
you could bitch about top 5s with us too, because they're pretty annoying. This is where you start to get angry.
Yeah, I got a little angry in the individual mandate, but this stuff's even more anger-inducing.
What are top 5s?
Top 5 most wanted
So this,
Basically, we talk about what's bothering us.
the
this
5
week.
stupidest, dumbest
things
things
of this week that bother us.
Yeah. So this. Yeah.
So if you want to add one to it, think of one.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be a bonus. So number 5, I have jobs, but no one wants them.
Yeah.
So you could probably give a little bit of background on this, Benson, since you were the one who sent it to me. But
Well, I don't have the article up.
I have it up, but you can probably give it.
Essentially, this guy, since you have it up, you can tell. Is it in Ohio?
Well, they're all over the place. This guy's in Wisconsin. The
This
first
guy's
guy,
in Wisconsin,
Michael
that's
Frederick.
right. So this guy runs a factory doing what? I don't remember.
We run our factory 24 hours a day, making thermoset composite moldings.
Okay.
Sweet.
So
Sure.
this guy does that, whatever that includes. But he is basically saying no one really wants a job. They're just acting like they can't get a job because I have plenty of jobs available, and we have trouble filling up our spots. And he kind of says it in this snarky way that's implying that people don't want to actually do any work. They're just lazy.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say, and I'm going to let you take it from here.
And we offer a competitive wage. $8.50 to $9.50 an hour.
Listen,
and after 90 days, we increase it to $9.50 an hour.
Have you ever
for 9 days?
90.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard someone above the age of fucking 18 say that that's a competitive wage?
Dude, minimum wage is like $7.25.
This is a fucking Chris Rock joke. The employer who pays you minimum wage is basically saying, "Fuck you, I'd pay you less if I wasn't legally obligated not to."
Yeah.
So,
and this pisses me off so much. We could raise wages to $100 an hour, fill all the positions, and then go out of business.
What?
Yeah, you could also pay them $1 zillion, and then you could make nothing. Sure. Yeah, that's the counter argument. Paying them $13 an hour.
That's exactly what this guy does. Is that's the type of person who does this shit, though, is he goes, well, what am I going to do? Pay him so much I run out of business? And then you go, no, just pay them enough so you're not giving them shit.
Pay them more than unemployment benefits. They're quite low.
Well, I don't know exactly what this thermoplastic molding stuff
it's entails. Probably not very safe.
But I mean,
sounds like fumes.
You're paying basically in the same area as flipping burgers at this point.
Yes,
so
that's
a little bit more.
I would say
like a shift leader.
Well, that depends.
Shift leader.
You flip burgers at In-N-Out, you'll actually make more than that.
I was telling them that my dad has the same problem with the company he runs, and he can't find people to work. He's in Yuma, Arizona, where the unemployment rate is 22%, I think.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it's like contract work, so they're getting paid at least, I don't know, more than that fucking shit. They're not getting paid that little. But he has this problem all the time because people just collect unemployment there, and he gets people that quit or get fired because they steal something, then try to collect unemployment. He has to fucking fight that shit to the court and pay all his money for that. So people just... Some cities, they just want unemployment. They're just that fucking lazy.
Yeah.
But this guy's case is super low money. It's like, if you're not paying more than unemployment...
in Arizona,
would I come work for you?
Anyways, this other guy, this guy's even worse, actually. This guy's name's Ari Zoldan.
This is number 4?
No, this is number 5 still. Ari Zoldan with Quantum Networks. By the way, in New York City. So, one of the most expensive places in the world to live in.
Yeah.
We want to hire motivated, dedicated young adults. We start them between 30 and 40,000. We tell them if they survive the first year and are pulling the weight, they can write their own ticket to the American dream. Without such employees, I'm limited in preventing from scaling my business. I'm looking for leaders, and I can't find them. That's because you don't pay them enough. Because $30,000 a year in New York City is nothing.
Yeah.
It's shit.
That guy should be named Buzzword. That should be his name. His last name should be fucking Buzzword.
Zoldan.
It's a better name.
Number 4. Pharmacies lie to teens about legal age to get emergency contraception. This is pretty funny. This is great.
I didn't hear this one.
So MSNBC did this kind of sting operation where they called a bunch of pharmacies, and in one of the calls they would act as a teen, a 17-year-old teen, and in many states, 17-year-old is legally able to get contraception without parental supervision or anything. Or
it depends on states.
But they called states that have that, basically. So anyways, they called him once as that, and the other time as a doctor, right?
I find it weird that a doctor would be calling a pharmacy to ask about what age, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, so anyways, so when asked whether a pharmacy had a medication in stock, 80% of the 943 said they did. If a researcher posing as a teen asked if she could get it, 19% were told no, not under any circumstances. Those acting as doctors were told no only 3% of the time.
Yeah, so basically the pharmacies were telling people acting as teens that they couldn't get contraception when they legally should be able to.
Now, there's a margin of error, but that means 16% of people are knowingly, of these 947, are knowingly lying to customers about what prescriptions they can receive.
Enjoy your baby, bitch.
You whore.
That's illegal, isn't it?
I would hope. I mean, you have to have a license to be a pharmacist.
How do these people not get reported?
I don't know. They should.
Because no one else is listening to the call?
Well, yeah, but they did a study on them, so they know which ones are doing it.
Yeah, but usually if you're doing studies, there's like because it's like entrapment or something. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
But they should raise a flag to those people and be like, hey, these people are.
What do they talk about to tell them they're teens? Just start talking about Twilight right away?
No, they just had a girl call and then they had a doctor that sounded, whatever.
Oh, it just sounds like Dr. Hibbert.
I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Hibbert. So number 3, New York City schools want to ban loaded words from tests.
Loaded words?
This is my
loaded words.
What are loaded words?
Okay, well, we're going to explain because this is my favorite this week. I love this one. So, in New York City, we'll start out by saying that in several states, including New York and other places, on standardized tests, they try not to use certain words because they feel that they have bad connotations for young people. Like, for example, they won't use the word weed on a test. And even if it's not in any context,
just like a weed in the yard.
And in Florida,
they won't even say the word weed.
Wait, what? It means like Beavis and Butthead effect or something?
I guess. I don't know.
He said boob.
And in Florida, they can't say the word hoodie. So...
Well, California is the one that does the weed thing. But Florida actually also avoids the words hurricane and wildfire. They won't use those words on any test.
They have good science.
Who cares?
Yeah, I know, right? That's stupid. But
I gotta start a wildfire now.
Here's where it gets really good. So New York City specifically, has banned more words from tests, including divorce, birthday, religion, Halloween, Christmas, television, and my favorite.
Yeah, you just gotta read this. I'll read the sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, I can read it, or you.
Go.
Dinosaurs evoking unpleasant emotions. The New York Post speculated that dinosaurs could call to mind evolution, which might upset fundamentalists.
So from now on standardized tests, the word dinosaur is not allowed to appear because it may make people think about evolution.
Okay, so we both took Regents tests in New York.
But they also banned the word religion, so they're just banning everything.
Yes.
So
literally banning everything.
This is politically correct.
There is a science regents in New York State. Sadly, a lot of states don't have science regents, but ours does. Ours did. So now they literally cannot teach about dinosaurs. Because how would you...
it can't be on a standardized test.
It can't be on a standardized
test. Well, that is a standardized test, though. Science is a regent's test.
They can't... You're right. They can't do dinosaurs.
I have a funny story about that.
I wonder if they can say Velociraptor, though. Or is that still too sensitive?
Oh, what about the Toronto Raptors?
Yeah.
There were 50 words. There were 50 words. So I don't know what the other ones are.
When I was a kid in, I think, second grade, there was this girl in my class, and whenever we talked about dinosaurs a lot in elementary school, just because, I don't know, we talked about dinosaurs.
They do because they're cool. They're fucking cool.
Yeah, and this one girl would flip out every time she heard the word dinosaur and start crying. She's like, I was told dinosaurs were on Noah's Ark and all this bullshit. They came in there. I can't believe any of this stuff. It was like in second grade, just flipping out. So anytime we had to talk about dinosaurs, she had to go somewhere else.
You know what they have at the National Creationist Museum or whatever it's called? Have you ever seen this?
Yeah,
place?
It's funny.
You know they have a fucking exhibit that has a Utah raptor standing literally 10 feet from a little girl who's like holding a squirrel.
Do they have the next one where it's in his belly?
Yeah, they should have that. It's the most ludicrous thing to me in the world. Like, it has nothing to do.
Buzz Lightyear next to it.
If they thought that people lived around the same time as dinosaurs, or even close to the same, fine.
Go ahead.
But dinosaurs and human beings did not live they weren't like buddies. They didn't have,
I saw Flintstones. Fuck you.
Yeah.
The
it's a
beak
living.
guy was the horn to tell you the
garbage disposal pig.
It makes no sense. It's completely insane. All right, so let's move on.
Okay, so number 2, there is no student loan crisis. Just to let you know, guys. There's
that's good.
Okay, we're done.
I guess I don't have to pay anymore.
That's the name of the article, by the way. I didn't make that. That is the name of the article. So this was written
There is
for
no
CNN
student
Money.
loan crisis.
This has been written on CNN Money by Tammy Lubby, and she says, total student loan debt has topped $1 trillion, but there's no need to panic. That's what it says. I'm not making this up. So she gives counterpoints on why it's not a crisis. I don't think it's a bubble, says Mark Kantrowitz, publisher of FindAid.org. Yeah. Oh, says guy that works in financial aid. So that's not a valid one. Let's see what else he has. More people are going to college these days, says Sandy Baum, senior fellow at George Washington University School of Education. Oh, wait, nope, you're not a good person either.
Well, more people are going to school, I mean.
Oh, wait, here's a counter argument. Here's a counter argument. It's, let's see. Where is it? Come on. Oh, yeah. Having a lot of student loan debt can make a person's life very difficult, said Lauren Asher, president of Project on Student Debt. But workers with bachelor's degrees earn $650,000 more during their lifetime.
Oh, during their lifetime?
Yeah, which isn't that much, really.
No.
And considering that the debt burden you have will be hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably would just be better off not going. But anyways, I decided to look up this woman.
The
journalist, Lubby. So I found out she works for the Columbia School of Journalism.
Oh, really?
So she works for
the school.
Please go to our school. Student loan debt isn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes to one of the most overpriced schools in the country.
Also, basically the entire way to refute this article is that one graph that shows cost of living and tax increase and inflation, and then student loan increase.
Yeah, it's
like
way
higher. That's all you need, just that one graph.
And just Moody's saying that it's a worse bubble than maybe the mortgage bubble. You know, Moody's.
Yeah.
Saying it.
The shills that they are.
Yeah. They're usually pretty bullish, and still, they're even saying it's dog shit. But anyways, just one other counterpoint. There was another article today it's from Smart Money that says that kindergartners are now taking out student loans with their parents for private kindergarten.
Wait, what?
It's up by 10%.
Parents are taking out loans to put their kids in the private kindergartens.
So they're co-borrowing as they are debt holders.
Can you legally do that as a kid? Like, does a kid legally know
the debt's on you because you're getting the education?
They better have like John Kimball as their teacher or something.
No, but they can't do a contract.
John Kimball.
They can. It's co-signed by the parent. The parent's signing your rights over.
So you can give
it's
your
just like it's just like Sally Mae. You co-sign with your parents.
Yeah, but you co-sign at the point where you're 18 and can legally sign a contract.
Does the kid sign with a crayon or something?
Yeah,
what
if
the
you're
fuck?
4, I doubt the kid can comprehend what the contract is.
Yeah, but your parents are your guardians.
Well,
so they
the debt is incurred by your parents. Though,
Yeah,
not
that's
by
yes.
They can't hold you responsible for a debt when you signed.
So I would have to
under the
look
age
at
of
it, but
18.
maybe it's the same. It's the same type of loan. It's a plus loan. It's a salary-based plus loan.
I just don't buy it.
I doubt that the kid can be held responsible.
I don't think it could happen. But who knows? Do more research. Look it up.
So, number one, Facebook trademarks the word book.
Yeah.
I don't see any problems with this.
They also trademarked the word face.
Oh.
And they also trademarked the letter F in a logo that's blue and white.
I'm just going to trademark the number 3. Can I just do number 3?
Why would you pick 3? Just pick 0.
No, 3. I think 3 is a good number. A lot of people, like the church uses 3. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 3 is the magic number.
Yeah.
Well, let's really hear
Triangles use 3.
what does this mean for everyone else?
Well, basically, Facebook is trying to expand its trademark rights over the word book by adding a claim to the newly revised version of the Statement of Rights and Responsibility, the agreement all users implicitly consent to by using or accessing Facebook. You will not use our copyrights or trademarks, including Facebook, the Facebook and F logos, FB, face, poke, wall, or 32665, or any confusingly similar marks without our written permission.
So basically, if you use Facebook, they're basically saying you can't use it for any works you make.
Yeah.
So
you can't use the word book. So I'm like, on their site, I can't. If I go, hey, you should check out my store. It's called Michael's Books.
Yeah.
Or Michael's. You should check out my new. Yeah, I have to have book in the title.
Yeah, I just read this new book. That
wouldn't count.
It's at this store for $15. It's at this store for $15.
If it was Michael's cookbook, that would be a trademark violation.
I just read this piece of paper thing.
It has to be something that's in
calls to mind
and it's a title of something. It's not like you can't use the word book in your writing.
They just don't want people to use them for satire or shit like that, even though.
But they've already won cases against other things, like not Facebook, but it was like something book.
Yeah.
And they won a case, and they had to get rid of their site, even though it was like something else, and they were actually existed before Facebook.
Fuck you, consumerist. Facebook should be number 1 worst company in America.
No, Bank of America should be, but
Bank of America is really bad.
That's a good way to send us off.
Yeah, you just farted.
That was me.
Great.
Good job.
Well, I guess that's about it.
That's it.
Thanks, Silent Roommate, for showing up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Otherbook.com.
Yeah, you can't have that.
iBookread.com.
Oh, I book read. That would be in violation.
Yeah, that would be. That was the name of a website that was owned by a client of a company I worked for. They had a site called iBookRead, which is great because it implies that indeed they don't book read.
They don't book read.
Is it still up?
No, I think
I don't
it's
think
down.
so.
That's a good domain to squat on.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll catch you next week. You can send us an email in the meantime. It's podcast@tipping40s.com or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407.
Peace.
Thanks.
Adios.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity.